Critical risk of main processes. 1. Explosion and gassing. Rock blasting is a highly specialized and very high-risk activity due to the fact that handling of explosives is involved. At San Rafael Mining Unit, we have highly qualified personnel who are authorized by the competent authority. Okay guys, your licenses. Engineer, here, I have my license. No unauthorized personnel may handle explosives or participate in rock blasting activities. One of the critical activities is blasting. For this activity, we have a protocol that every visitor needs to know about. In this protocol, you have to make arrangements to close all main entries all around the area where the blasting will be carried out. Another important detail is that every visitor cannot transport himself or move through the mine alone. A responsible person who knows the mine and all its activities has to accompany the visitor. 2. Crushing by rockfall. Rockfall is one of the main risks in underground mining, which has caused the largest number of serious and fatal accidents. At San Rafael Mining Unit, we care about this risk, so we have highly qualified personnel in the labors of support. For that reason, every person who enters the mine must verify that the support of the labors is right. This way, we care for the welfare of our staff and our equipment. One of our main controls for the risk of rockfalls is scaling, which is an activity carried out before, during, and after each operation. Therefore, you as a visitor, when you enter the mine, you should be accompanied by a worker who tells you the risks of the places where you're going to walk. 3. Tipping and running over by vehicles. Most accidents that occur in mining operations with heavy equipment happen due to negligence, for not watching, not taking precautions, or not complying with the basic safety rules and measures. How do we avoid these accidents? First, we recognize potential risk situations. Staying alert is a priority around heavy equipment that is operating, as is seen behind me. Which controls can we take to avoid accidents? First, the area around the equipment. As we know, every equipment has an impact area of its operations, which in our case is at least 20 meters. So we can take a measurement of larger diameter and length to have a range of greater safety. Second, the visual and verbal contact with the operator. We should be sure that when we are close to a machine which is operating, performing a mining operation, the operator has seen us. The operator should stop operating when there are personnel within his area of work influence. We should not place ourselves in blind spots. What does that mean? It means that we should be sure that the operator can always see us. Keep in mind that these are large machines and therefore there are positions in which people or equipment are located where the operator cannot see us. Take into account the weather. In adverse conditions, the equipment must be stopped. We must be careful with loaded equipment because material can fall from it. And remember, getting home safely depends only on us. 4. Crushing and setbacks due to lifting. One of the biggest risks we have in the maintenance area of San Rafael is the movement of loads with the use of lifting elements and equipment for which we have procedures and standards to control these risks. The most important thing is to use lifting equipment in good condition. Second, trained personnel. Third, lifting elements in good condition. Fourth, the staff should meet the minimum requirements in the area of procedures and standards. It is necessary that at least 3 people participate for lifting maintenance equipment. The rigger, the operator of the lifting equipment, and 1 maintenance personnel to support with the use of the strings of movement for loading. The correct work that these 3 people do will assure us the load movement to the place we want. For the visitors who arrive at San Rafael unit, you should also meet the standards and procedures we have as safety. One of them, and the most important one, do not cross the demarcation line when lifting work is carried out. Second, move through the marked areas. Third, comply with the procedures given in the induction of general safety for visits to San Rafael. 5. Attrition and setback by use of hand tools. In every industry, whatever activity it has, it is required to carry out repair and maintenance works which require the use of a series of hand tools. Their use is frequent, and they are seemingly harmless. That's precisely why they are dangerous. Good safety practices associated with the proper use of hand tools are selection of the right tools for their work to be done, maintenance of tools in good condition, proper use of tools, avoiding an environment that hinders their proper use or handling appropriate distances among colleagues, keeping tools in safe places, inspecting their tools before each use, and if any of these is defective, report it immediately to the supervisor to be removed. Using only tools which have the tape corresponding to the quarterly inspection. Using the appropriate PPE in accordance with the tools to use and work environment. You as a visitor must inform the supervisor to enter the work area and should respect the delimitations and demarcations of the workspace. 6. Fire. The wide range of materials, activities, and equipment we have at San Rafael Mining Unit represent a fire hazard. It is important that you as a visitor know what procedure you should use in case of an emergency. The fire hazard sources are flammable liquids. We have combustibles, paints, solvents, and some plant and laboratory reagents. For storage, we should follow the manufacturer's recommendations, consider the tables of compatibilities in case of any incident during the reception or dispatch. We should report immediately and follow the procedure of the unit. The good practice of order and cleaning should be before, during, and after. Some materials that we receive at San Rafael Mining Unit come with proper packaging. These come with plastic foam, with cardboard, or palletized. Upon arrival at the San Rafael Mining Unit, we remove these materials which are themselves highly combustible, and we separate them into zones where there are no heat sources. Knowing the exit route and having a fire extinguisher within reach could save your life. Remember, areas where we store combustible liquids are non-smoking areas. 7. Slides and crushing in tailings areas and clearing areas. Dangers of rock falls and slides in the operations of construction of seawalls and clearing areas. It is necessary to take into account that they are extremely hazardous situations. Therefore, we must constantly evaluate the risks. It is possible that materials may fall and harm people or equipment. We must check that emergency signs regarding rockfall exist. The operator must stop his equipment if he realizes that personnel are exposed to accidents. In case of unfavorable climate conditions, the equipment must be stopped. Remember, at home, your family awaits you. Don't let them down. 8. Gradient fall. Falls are a serious hazard when working in high areas. To avoid falls, it is important to use appropriate equipment and comply with the correct procedures. The use of guardrails, fall detention systems, security networks, covers, and systems of restrictions of displacement may avoid several deaths and injuries produced by falls. Human errors or lack of personal protection also play an important role. 9. Electrocution in facilities and electrical activities. It is crucial that the employee and visitor of Minsur know the basic principles of security when planning and carrying out works in electric equipment systems. Its handling must be responsible, careful, and with no risk, done correctly every single time. In general, an electric accident requires 3 elements: an energy source, an energy transfer channel, and a person or object that receives energy. Every person that works with or near an electric energy source must know the emergency procedures, among others, how to disconnect the power from an electric system before assistance in case an event takes place. 10. Obstruction and trapping by machinery in motion. The industrial zone, and particularly the concentration plant, have a number of equipment, engines, rolling and power elements that may cause severe accidents. You, as an employee or visitor of Minsur, must consider that all tools or equipment that, due to their design or specification, have moving parts, which involve risks such as pinch points, cut risks, crushings, puncture, impact, or expulsion of hazardous materials and or pressurized and rotation of components that may cause trapping. One of the control measures of these risks is the application of security guards that are physical elements that avoid people being exposed to such risks. Personnel must be trained regarding the safe handling of these machines, tools, and equipment. You are responsible for conducting an appropriate evaluation of risks by trying to take out materials that get stuck without shutting down the equipment, and most importantly, only authorized personnel may operate machinery or conduct maintenance. You as a visitor must know that long sleeves and long pants may protect your skin against hot surfaces, chemicals, and abrasions. Make sure that they are not so loose that they will get stuck in moving parts. Remove jewelry and tie your hair when working. 11. Hazardous materials. A hazardous material is anything that may harm us and is present as solid, liquid, or gas. That is the reason why it is extremely important that MSDS be known and has to be found in the workplace. In case of visitors, they must always be accompanied when accessing the workplace.